Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another solo board game playthrough. This is going to be solo playthrough of Scythe. This is a game by Stonemeyer and Jamie Stegmeyer, and this is a game that you guys voted on for the month of April for a playthrough. So, Scythe, it's a classic game, especially solo. We've got the Automa there. We're playing on the normal mode. We are going to be the Republic of Polania, and then we're going against the Crimson. I can't even read that, but we're the white faction, they're the black faction. And this will be fun because we are starting here and they are starting here, so we're going to have a lot of it. We're going to be running into each other quite a bit. So I'm not going to really go over the rules of it, but we'll kind of just talk about stuff as it happens. I've completed setup here, so where the AI gets 5 money. They've got their everything on their board. We start with 6 money, so I've got that here. We have 3 popularity, and we get our 2 whatever card, these like gold cards. And in fact, so we get these 2 here. So we've got King of the Hill, control the factor at the end of a turn and have the highest power of any player, or stockpile the winter, control a territory with at least 9 or more resources, at least 1 of each type at the end of your turn. So those, we've got those. Our ability is the Meander. We can pick up to 2 options per encounter card, so we're really incentivized to get the encounter tokens. And then we are going to be the mechanical board, so we're really focusing on, probably want to get my mechs out. That'll be an easy thing after 2 upgrades here. We can only cost 1 here for that, and maybe we want to get out, maybe we want to do our, our enlist action and get these tokens off when we bring that down. But this is going to be my focus right now. And we start here, so there is actually no metal for me to produce in these areas, so we may have to trade a lot to get that because we're starting there. Okay, so let's just hop into it here, and we're going to take our first action. And I think I have no resources, so maybe we want to start with getting some resources first. So we could trade, get ourselves a couple barrels of oil, and then use, we need 3 to upgrade. So we want to trade, or do we want to produce? I think we're going to go ahead and trade. So we're going to go here, we're going to spend the money to trade, so we're going to get 2 resources of any kind, and we're going to get 2 deals of oil here. I'll just stick them there. And then we don't have enough to do the secondary ability because we need 3, so we're going to end our go. The AI is going to go now, so we're going to flip their card over, and we're going to look. And here, they're going to move their, let me get that to focus, they're going to move their character, and then they're going to deploy a mech, and then they're going to move their star. So, so they're going to deploy, they're going to move this, and they're going to move to a section that is the closest to, I've got the movement here. So they're going to move in the area of any Automa unit, so they can't cross, they're still can't cross the river, so they're going to move in one of these 3 spots. And then they're going to move to the spot that's closest to the factory. So it's going to be that. So they're going to take this token off, and they're going to deploy a mech. And I think that's it. Yep. Okay. So they're going to do that. That's their go, and then they're going to move us. Let me move that there so I don't forget. Okay. So we have options here. I want to probably move to. Let's do this. We're going to move 2 units. We're going to move this unit here. We're going to move this one here just so that I can get to this, and then I can produce on a turn and get some wood. Or maybe we go back to here and we get another thing of oil, another barrel of oil here to upgrade, and then we can start working on that. So, okay, we're going to go with the AI. They're going to move their mech. Then they're going to deploy a mech and get 2 power. So when they move their mech, they're going to move the one close to the base, which will be this one. They're going to move it in the neighborhood of any Automa unit. And then there's no enemy unit, no Automa combat unit other than the one selected. So they're going to go here, here, because this is a combat unit. They're going to move shortest distance from an enemy unit, which will be this one. So we're going to put it there because it's only 2 spaces from here. So they're going to do that. They're going to deploy another mech. They're going to go up 2 on this. And then they're going to move their star. So they've got basically 2 more star movements before they can break out of here. Okay, we are going to now trade again. We're going to spend the money to get 2 more of these, if I can get it out. We're going to get 2 more of those. And then we're going to spend 3 here to upgrade. We're going to take one of the cubes from our board, and I think I want to upgrade... Do I want to upgrade this, or do I want to upgrade the bolster action? Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. No, let's do the movement action, and we're going to do that there. Okay. We've done that. We're done with our turn. The AI is going to go. They're going to move one of their units. So when they move one of their workers, they move in the neighborhood of any other unit, and then the one closest to the autonomous base, which are both here. No enemy units, of course, and then where there's no automa worker. And then they pick a valid hex, one in the neighborhood of the most units, one that's not in the neighborhood of a combat unit, and then closest to the factory. So this would be, we're going to pick the one closest. So in reading order, we'd pick this one, and then I'd move here, because this is closest. This spot's closest here, and there's no deal there. And then they're going to get 3 power, and they're going to move their star again. Uh-oh. Okay, they're almost out. They're almost out. We need to be able to river walk soon. So I think I want to produce. Or maybe I want to move. No, let's produce first. Actually, yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put that there instead, and then we're going to produce. So we're going to produce 2 here, 2 wood there. And then that's all I got. Okay. The AI is going to go. They're going to move their person to any spot, and they would actually move. So they're going to move them to the factory, or close to the factory. So in the neighborhood of any automa unit, the factory, if no other one, on a counter token. So they can't do either. So because they can't do either, they'll move they'll move this character somewhere else. So in the neighborhood of any automa unit, in the neighborhood of automa's base, and then where there's no enemy unit, no automa mech. So they can only go here or here, and they can stay in the spot, and then they're going to go shortest to the factory. So they're actually going to stay where they are. If they were the green, if they were them, they would get another. They would get a worker, but they're going to get 1 worker and a coin, and then they're going to move their star. And now they're able to move out over the water. All right, they're kind of going quick there. So we need to do some stuff. So we're going to do some moving out of our own. So we're going to go here. We're going to move this unit here to get this. So we'll get that here in a minute. We'll move this person here. I think that's all the movement I'm going to do. And then, so let's take our encounter card. Or I don't know if we resolved it after the end of the turn. So let's just do our build a building here. And we'll do that. And I think I want to do... I'm going to place this here. Is that what I want to move, or do I want to do this and go up on here? We are trading a lot, so we could, yeah, let's go actually do that instead. So we're going to do that instead. And then we've got our encounter card here. So the encounter card, remember, we choose 2. So it says, observe a childhood game of war, gain a combat, gain a popularity, toss some coins to the kids on behalf of your faction, pay 2 coins to get 3 popularity, cut down a tree. It says pay 2 popularity, gain 4 wood. I'm definitely gaining the combat and the popularity. So we're going to do that for sure. The question is, do I pay the 2 money for the 3 popularity? Or do I pay the 2 popularity for the 4 wood? Because if I do that, we can build something else again. And then we'd have to do that. And then we'd have to only produce wood another time we can get all 4 of our buildings out. And I didn't mention, but the scoring tile here, we want, for our buildings, we want them by a faction campsite or by the factory. So we can get the other one here and then get over and get those other ones there. So that might be an option. Do I pay the popularity? I think I do. I'm going to pay the 2 popularity to get the 4 wood. Place that there. And then I got to get my 2 money actually for building my building. Okay, so we've got the AI. They're going to move towards the factory. So they're going to move, or towards one of these. So they're going to move in the neighborhood of this. So they'll go here, here. And then, what is the tiebreaker? So no enemy unit. no atomic, closest to the factory. So the closest one to the factory is this one. So they're going to go here. They're going to take this away. They're going to gain 3. And they're going to gain a coin. And then if we had the enlistment thing of a coin, we would get the coin there. And then they're not going to move their hex. Or they're not going to move their deal. Okay. Still kind of stuck in our area, but that's okay. I think what we'll do is we'll go here and pay our coin. We'll produce 2 oil. And then we're going to get a power. Then we're going to spend 3 oil to upgrade something. And we're going to upgrade... this, I think. We're going to put that there. Okay. The AI is going to go. They're going to... Do they have at least 6 power? They do. So they're going to move one of their units to attack us, but I don't think they have the range to do it. So they'd move in the neighborhood of any Atama unit. So the neighborhood of the Atama units are going to be here, 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 here. They can't reach us. So they're going to skip that action. So then they're going to attack one of our workers. They can't do that either because they're not close enough. So then they're just going to move a worker. They're going to move their worker from here into the neighborhood of the closest with the most units, which will be this one, because this has 3. This has 1. This has 2. This has 2. This has 1, 1, 1, and 3. And they're not going to go in the neighborhood of one of my units. They're going to go here. They're going to get 2 money. I'm going to trade this out for a 10. I'll do my best to keep their money as concise as possible. And then there's another enlist. They're not going to do that. Okay. So we really got to get out. So I think what we'll do... Oops. We are going to move here. I'm going to move this person here. I'll take my wood with me. We're going to, I guess, leave that there. And then we're going to spend 2 of the wood. Gain 2 coins. And build something out. We're going to build out this mine. And we're going to stick that mine here. So then that way we can use this because so it's adjacent to these we can get out. Okay. The AI is going to go. They're going to move a mech. They're going to move it closest to, let's see. This is the tricky part with the movement, but once you kind of get it. So they're going to, the closest one to the base, which is this one, in neighborhood to any Atama unit, or in the neighborhood of Atama's base, no enemy unit, and no Atama combat unit. So it's going to go here, 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 here. They pick the one shortest distance to another unit, which will be here, 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 and then the reading order will break that. Well, this is close, actually close to the factory will break that. So this is close to the factory, so they'll go there. If they were the red faction, they would get a worker, but they're only going to get 1 worker, but they get an additional worker, but they'll get 1 worker because they're not the red faction, and then they'll get a coin. So they get 2 workers if they're a red faction, and then they'll move their star there. Okay. Forgot about this. I can stockpile resource. I'm probably going to get King of the Hill. That's probably what I got to get, but I've got to figure out how to get ahead on this. Okay. So, we're stuck over here. I've got to get something built, and I've just got a bunch of wood. So I think maybe we go to trade. We spend our money to get 2 resources. We'll get 2 our metal. And then we're going to get an armory. We'll get that, and then we can't do the upgrade action, so we're done. The AI is going to go. They're going to move a worker. They're going to move that worker into the neighborhood of the most. They would go here, here. They can't go there. They would go here, here, or here. This is 2. This is 1. This is 2. So they'll go there. This is 1. This is, they can't do there. And then this one, actually, where do they, no, they go here. Okay. I think that's where they go. And then they're going to get a card. And then if we had the enlist thing, we would get a card, but they don't move their star. Okay, now we're going to go to here. We're going to spend the money to bolster. It'll get us 3 combat. 1, 2, 3. We're going to spend 2 of our iron here to get a mech out. And the mech we're going to get is going to be our Riverwalk mech. And we can Riverwalk across rivers to villages and mountains. We can go to here. Or if we were like here, we could go here, basically that. And we have to place it where a worker is, so we do that, but now we can start moving out. And then we get 2 money. So basically get some of the money back we spent. That'll be our go. They're going to move into one of our one of our worker units. They're going to attack move versus a worker, but there are none in the neighborhood they can move into. So they're going to move their worker here into... They would go here, maybe? They would go here. Okay, hold on, let's see this. They would go to the one with any Atama unit. So here, 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 and the neighborhood of any. So they're not going to go here because that's our neighborhood. They're not going to go here. Or they can go here, 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 here. No, they're not here, sorry. Here, 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 here. Then they're going to do the one with the most. So this is 3. This is 2. This is 2. This is 2. So they're going to go here. That's the most. They're going to gain a worker. And they're going to move their star here. Okay. All right. So now we can actually get out of here. But I actually have my tunnel too, so I could use that to get out. So I think we might end up wanting to move and kind of moving and taking over some other part of the board. So let's go ahead and move. We're going to move. We're going to take everything with us, and we're going to take the tunnel. We're going to move all the way over. Where do we want to go? We're going to go here. So that's a movement. We're going to take a movement to go here with one of our workers, and then we're going to take this movement to Riverwalk here, because we can do that based on this here, because we're going to a village. Then as our next action, I want to wait. I probably want to wait to do it because I want to build. I need to get adjacent to these. Although, no, I'm still too far. So yeah, so we're actually not gonna build out because I want to maximize this, and I need to get it next to the factory. So I need to get into one of these 2 spots with a worker, and then we'll be able to do that. So we can move next turn. Next time we can move, we can go over here and do that. So that's gonna be our go. Okay. They are going to move a worker. They're gonna go. So they can go here. This is 3 units. This is 1. This is 1. This is 2. So they're going to go here because this has the most, or 4, I mean. 1, 2, yeah. So they're going to go there. They're going to get a coin, and they're going to move their star. Okay. Okay. So I need to produce. So let's produce, and we'll produce people, and we'll produce iron or metal. That'll be our go. They're going to move a mech. They're going to move the one closest here, and they're going to move it. They're going to move their mech in the neighborhood of any unit, and then the shortest distance to a combat unit. So they're going to go here, here, and then closest to the factory between these 2, which will be this one. And then they go all the way up here and they get their first star, because they do get a star for getting all the way up on that. And then they move this across. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Okay, what do we do here? What do we do? So I think we're going to do movements, and I need to run up. If I can run up in the factory, but I don't have the most power, so that's not really going to get me the bonus. But I can at least get my factory thing here, my factory card. If I moved, oh no, I can't get there quite yet. So it might just be a matter of moving my character to get this encounter token, moving my units here to build out something with my wood, and then leaving that guy there. So that might be the move. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to move. We can move 3 units. So we're going to move this one here to take this. I'll grab this in a second. We'll move these guys there. And I'll move. Yeah, we'll move those guys there, and then we'll actually move this here. So let me take my encounter thing here. It says shoot a wild boar for our lunch, bacon, 2 food, and a popularity. We can pay 2 money to get 3 resources, or pay 2 popularity to gain a worker and 3 wood. We're about out of wood, so I think I'm going to take the first 2. So we're going to take the 2. We're going to take the 2 food. Let's give it to our guy back here who's hanging out. And we'll get a popularity. Then we're going to pay 2 money to gain any 3 resources, and we're going to use that to gain. Do I gain the 3 oil, or do I gain? Yeah, I think I gain 3 oil because I can trade and then upgrade this again and make those cheaper. So we're going to gain the 3 oil. And then we do go here. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me do this. I think we do this first. So we're going to build. We're going to build out our monument there. And then we're going to get 2 money. And then I'll take one of the cards here for getting to the factory. So we have 1, we can pay a popularity to either do an enlist action or an upgrade action. We can pay a thing to get 3 money, or we can pay 2 money to upgrade and to get... Actually, I think I want this one. So I think we're going to take that one. So I want to stick that up there. Stick that back. And I think that's my turn. I think we're good. Okay. So the AI is going to go. They're going to move one of their units, the one that's closest to here, which will be this one, and they're going to move it non-attacking mech movement, so closest to the Atama's base, in the neighborhood of anything, shortest distance from an enemy unit, ignoring unit bases unless... Okay. So it would be here, maybe here. Yeah, it'd be here, I think. They would go there. Then they're going to deploy a mech. They're going to get a worker. If we had the enlist for popularity, they would do that, and then they're going to get another star, and then we're going to shuffle their deck up. So I'm going to just put this star here, because I don't really care about that, and then we're going to shuffle this up and go to their second. We're going to go to their hard side now. But now we get 2 movement with 1 unit here, which will be nice. So, and I need 1 more monument built, and then we've got them all built. So I really need to get that monument built here. So it might behoove me to take one of my workers, or I can build it here if I move over with one of my people there. We could do that because it just needs to be next to a base. I don't think it needs to be next to my base. So we're gonna flip their deck. I don't think it needs to be next to my base. I think this is one of the ones from the modular board. Oh, it has to be home base or factory. So I do have to put the factory. So we've got this one by the factory. So I do need to get a unit there. Okay. So I probably should have taken him with me a little farther, but that's okay. We've at least gotten... I mean, we don't have to do it, I guess, because we at least get the 9 points. But if we want to get one of the stars up, we're 1 away from it. So we probably don't even need to put it there. We can put it wherever, actually, because we get the bonus anyway. We want to get it out, though, so I need to get wood. So we'll probably want to trade just so that we can get the wood, and then we can turn around on our next turn and build that last monument, or the last building. So we're going to go here. We'll spend the money. We'll get 2 wood. Let's give it to my guy here. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. Hold on. I can do this. I'm actually really close to doing a stockpile for the winter. Have 9 or more resource tokens of at least one type. Control a territory with 9 or more resources, at least one of every type. So I'm almost actually there. We'll gain this. So yeah, so I'm actually going to wait to upgrade. Plus I can upgrade with this anyway. So I think we're going to wait to upgrade. If we produce, we can get another resource and then collect that, and that's a star. So I think that's what we're going to wait on, actually. Okay, so we're going to go with them. They are going to move their mech. They're going to move it here. Yeah, they're going to move that there. Well, actually, this is in the neighborhood of this, because they're going to go... It's the tiebreaker order is going to be shortest distance to an enemy unit and then close to the factory, and then we would do reading order. So reading order, we'll put that there. Then they are going to get a power, but they are full. They're going to get a coin, and they're going to get their last mech out. They would get the power because they're the black faction, and then if we had the enlist for that, we would get that, and they're going to move this across. So I'm going to give them a coin, giving them 3 here. Are we going to do no combat? We'll see how this works out. Okay. So we can produce on 2 things. So we're going to produce. We're going to produce here, so we get another worker. We're going to produce here for a steel. And then we're not going to take this action, so we end our turn. We can do, we turn in stockpile for the winter. So we have a territory with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That gets us a star on there. And those are done with. Nice. Okay, we're on the board. The AI is going to go. They're going to move to take out one of our units here. So they're going to move. Okay, so the closest, they're going to move this one. They're going to go in reading. Okay, then any Otama unit in the neighborhood of the Otama's base containing enemy workers. No enemy combat unit. So they're going to go here or here. Then it says the most resources. So they're tied for 0. Closest to the factory. So they're going to go here. They're going to drive this off. This goes back to our here. And then they lose popularity. Oh, no, they don't lose the popularity, right? Yeah, place selected unit on the retreat workers to the base, remove resource. Yeah, I don't think they lose popularity, so that's what it is. They're gonna get a coin. Okay, and then they're gonna move their star. Okay, so now I'm surrounded all around the factory, which is kind of a bummer. So we're gonna have to figure this situation out. Okay, so let's move. We're gonna move. Do I want to start fighting people? We could fight. I have no combat cards, though, and they've got 1. And they've got way more combat than we do. So maybe we don't want to move yet. I want to be able to do this. This will give me another star, though. We produced on this turn, so let's go. I do want to get some more mechs out, though, too. I'd like to do this action first to move one of my tokens here, and then I can get 2 mechs with that, what I have. So I think we'll do this. We'll move this person 1 space here so we can get here. And then we'll move... I don't really need the wood. So I think that's it. I don't think I'm moving anybody else. And then we're going to spend our 2 wood here to build our last deal at this windmill, and we'll place that there. Which I guess I could just do like this so you guys can see a little bit better. That gives me another star on my 4 buildings. Oh, and I get 2 money. Get myself a 5-er. There we go. Okay, the AI is going to go. They're going to move one of their one of their units. So the one closest to here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So this is the closest. They're going to move in the neighborhood of another one of their units, closest to one of my combat units. Reading order, so they're going to go here because that's the closest one in reading order. They're going to gain a combat card. They're going to gain a money, so I'm going to trade this out. They're going to deploy a unit, but they can't. And then they're going to move their star there. Okay. I need to get my popularity up. Like, that's a huge thing for me right now. So let's go here. We'll pay a money. And we will get 2 resources. We'll get food. Or no. Let's get oil. Then we're going to get combat. We're going to spend 3 oil to upgrade this here. Oh, I guess I could have moved it. Let me do a mulligan. I'm going to move that there because I didn't move. I only did 2 movements and I've got 3. So I'm going to move that one there. Then I can produce food from over there. Okay. That's going to be my turn. Do they have at least combat of 7? They do. So because they have at least a combat of 7, we're fighting. So they're going to move. So the Otama closest to the base. So this one, or the unit close to the base, which will be this one. Then they're going to move it in the neighborhood of any other one. So they're going to go in here. And then they're going to get a bunch of power, which they have. And then I would get... So we're going to fight now. So for fighting, I'm going to spend 7, because that's all I can do. I'm going to give myself 7. Um, yeah, I think that's all I can do, right? I mean, I guess I have to get lucky, but they're gonna probably spend 7 plus their card, so maybe it's not worth it. Maybe I do. Maybe I just spend 1 because I'm probably gonna lose anyway. So I'm gonna spend 1. So they're gonna spend. If they have more than 14, they do. They're gonna spend 7, and then they're actually gonna add no cards. But they are attacking us, so they would have beat us on the tiebreaker anyway. So this is gone. This goes back to my base. If they would win combat, so if the Atama wins, if there's any resource there, they'd remove them and then determine the amount of resources. Okay, and then resolve Conquered Hex. So then I think they get one of these cards, which these are basically done with now. Okay, well that was a bummer, but they lost a lot of power. They lost 7, so it puts them at 9. So we're tied now. Okay, and then I do get a combat card, which is a 2, so it's not super great, but that's okay. All right. Alrighty. Oh, and let's discard this. So if I move, I can move this here. I can move this here, and I can move. Well, maybe I want to wait to move. Maybe I want to get a mech. We'll spend the money to bolster. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to get a popularity. And then we are going to spend 1 of these for a mech. We're going to get out our... In combat, do not lose popularity when forcing... Oh, that might be kind of nice, just to be mean. We're going to get this mech out. We're going to place this mech here. And we get 2 money. No, actually, I'll just take 2 singles. Oh, they won combat, so they do get a star. Okay. They're gonna get. They're gonna place out one of their workers. Oh, no, they're gonna move their worker. They're gonna move it to the one with the most things, which is here. So they're gonna go there because it's got 5. Then they're gonna get 3 coins because they're the black faction plus 2 additional coins. They're gonna get 3 coins, and then they're going to. We would get the bolster thing. Okay. Okay. I think I got to move in on this guy. But if I get some more combat, we get up to 16, we get another star. Let's go here. We're going to spend 2 money to upgrade. We're going to upgrade something. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to here. Then we're going to increase our popularity, and we get 2 movements, and we're going to move just here for 1 to take this encounter card. So here's our encounter card. It's going to be share some good news with the travelers, gain 2 money and 1 popularity, trade some cow for some steak, pay 2 for food, and then convince the soldier that the patterns on the cow contain a coded map, pay 2 popularity, gain 2 in combat and 3 power. I think I want the 2 money and the 1 popularity, and then I want to spend the 2 money for the 4 food. We're going to do that. And again, I get this twice because of that. Okay. AI is going to go. They're going to move one of their units. They're going to move the closest one to the here, and then the reading order. So they're going to move this one. This one gets moved. Okay. In the neighborhood of any AI unit, in the neighborhood of the base. Okay, so in the neighborhood of any unit, so it's going to be here, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to avoid one of our units' neighborhoods. So they're not going to go... Let's see, they'll probably go here, I think, right? This is 3. This is 4. So they're going to go here, because that's closest to the factory. Then they're going to gain 4 power. And then they're going to move their star. Okay, they're getting ready to get another star on the board. We've got to catch up here. But I've got 2 upgrades, and I'll be able to. And then I've got my 2 mechs, which should be easy because I've got the one of those at least. I just want to get my popularity up so I can like maximize that. And I need to start taking people out. I think that's my other thing, is I need to start fighting folks. Okay. If we go here, we can trade for more food. And then we can upgrade another deal. Or we can go here and get 2 popularity and put us in the next tier. And then upgrade. But I do kind of want to get one of my mechs out. Or do we just start moving? I think maybe we do. We start moving. This action's kind of blah because I can move with this and get stuff. I'm not really utilizing this part here, so just kind of whatever. Actually, let's produce. We'll produce on 3 hex. We have to pay combat. We're going to produce 1 here. We're going to produce 1 food here. We're going to produce 2 workers here. Then we're going to spend 4 food to enlist, and we're going to enlist this one and place it here. No. We're going to enlist this one and place it here to get 2 combat cards. And we get a 2 and a 4. Okay, we got a 4. Nice. So we're going to do that, and we get 2 coins. Okay. The AI is going to go. They're going to move their unit to the factory, but they're at the factory. So they're going to move one of their other units, one of their non-attacking characters, or their character non-attacking. So they're going to move this one the shortest distance to an enemy combat unit that doesn't contain another one. So it's going to be this, because that one doesn't, these all contain, yeah. Unless we go here, but this has more units adjacent. Or we can go here. No, this one has more things in this neighborhood. It's going to go up to 3 here and gain a worker. And then if we had the bolster here, we would get that, but then we don't. We have for the bolster, not the bolster. If we had the combat card for the enlist ability, we would get that, which one? That one, but we have the popularity one. And then they're going to move this up, which gets them another star up here, like that. Okay. Okay, they've got a lot of stuff spread out, and we've got a lot of people all contained. So maybe I do want to start moving people around. I think maybe that's what we just do that. So let's go ahead and let's move here. We'll move 3 people. So we're going to move 1 person here. We're going to move this person here, and we're going to move this here. Then we're going to go into combat. So I'm going to spend 7 plus my 4 here, and we're going to flip their thing over. They're going to spend 7 as well, plus 2 cards. And they've got a 3 and a 3. Oh, dear. So they beat us. They defeat us. So these are discarded. This goes back to my base. They win another combat. And then we get a consolation prize of a card. Well, that's not what I wanted to happen. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. They're going to move a mech. They're going to move it to a non-combat unit. Or I'm sorry, they're going to move it closer to the shortest distance to an enemy combat unit. So they're going to move this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they'll move this one. They'll move it in the neighborhood of another one, and that's closest by reading order. They're going to get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're going to get a worker, and they're going to move a star. Okay, so they're going to get to their last star in a couple turns. So we've got to really do something. Okay, I've got 2 more upgrades possibilities, but I think let's go ahead, and I need to get 2 more mechs out in order for me to really do this. So we're going to go here. We're going to spend a money. Do we want to trade, or do we want to just... Let's bump up the popularity. So we're going to bump up popularity. We're going to gain a combat. We're going to spend 2 barrels here for an upgrade action. And we're going to upgrade this one into here. And that's going to be our turn. They're going to move to an encounter token. So they're going to move this here, take this encounter token. They're going to gain a worker, but they don't have any workers, and they're going to gain 2 money, which is going to turn this into a 20. They're going to move their star. Uh-oh. I have 4 stars I got to get out. I can't. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to spend 2 money. This will get us at least another deal. We're going to move somebody. We're going to get upgrades. We're going to upgrade this to here. We're going to get a popularity. And then we're going to move somebody twice. So we're going to go... we're going to go 1. And then we're going to take these to the tunnel as a second movement and go to 2 here. And then we're going to move one of our stars because we did our last upgrade. And place that star there. And that will be our turn. Oh, thank goodness. So is there combat at least 8? It is. So they're going to fight. Which I feel a little bit better about this now. They have at least 8 combat. So they're going to choose the one closest to the deal, which I think is this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to choose this one. They're going to... fewest enemy combat units. This one and this one are the fewest enemy combat units. They're both in the neighborhood closest to the factory, which would be this one. So they're going to come here to fight me. They're going to get 2 money because they're going to get 1 money and a worker. And then we're going to get a popularity. But they're not moving their deal. So now we're going to fight. So I'm going to spend all of mine for 5. And then I've got this for 7. Oh gosh, I'm so scared. They have between 8 and 13. So they're going to spend 7. And then they're going to spend a card, but they don't have a card. So we tied, but they are the aggressor, so they defeat us. So they defeat us. This goes back to our base. We lose the food, and then this goes back to our base. I'm having a rough go at the fighting. I really am. This is not going well. We're going to get a card here. And there's a 4. That would have come in handy. Okay. But they've gotten their 2 stars for winning combat, so we're fine there. So I've got to get these stars out quickly. And the next thing I can get a star out with is probably going to be... I could produce to get my last workers out. That would get me a star. So that's a possibility. And then I can bump up more on this track. That'll at least get me a star for sure. And because if they end the game next turn, they end the game. So I gotta put this here. Okay. Yeah, this was the card that they just did. They don't have, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna produce. We're gonna lose. Oh, I don't have a combat to lose. Darn it. Darn it. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there. Let's go here. We'll spend the money. I got no money. I'm broke. They're beating me up. Let's bolster 1, 2, 3. We're going to gain one of these. We're going to spend this for one of these, and we're going to place that here. And we're going to get 2 money. And if they end the turn, we're kind of SOL here. Okay. They're going to move one of their units. I think we're cooked. They're going to move one of their units. So the one close to the factory is this one, and then they're going to move it here because it's the neighborhood of the most. They're going to get 2 money. And they bring a unit back, but they don't have a unit, and then they're going to move here to get their last star out. And that's going to end the game. So we're going to go into final scoring. I got completely devastated here. Okay, so for final scoring, they're going to score the stuff over here. So how do they score again? So they're going to score 4 per star. So they've placed out 6 stars. They get 24. Three coins per territory controlled. So they control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times 3 is 39. So we're going to give them that and turn that in. And then that's it. We're going to get, oh my gosh. We're going to get 4 for every star, so that's only 12. I got absolutely cooked. We're going to get, for territories, we're going to get we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 21. We're going to get points for our resources. So we get 2 points for every 2 resources. We've got just 2 points there. We're going to get 9 points for having these and this. So that's 9. So I'll trade this in for this. I think that's all of our scoring. So let's kind of consolidate this a bit. So that's a 20. Yeah, we're cooked. Absolutely. There's 5. There's 10. We got absolutely devastated. 50 to 86. Man, I lost every combat, and that like really accelerated their. I lost every single combat, and that really accelerated their deal. And I don't know. I just got so. I don't. That was really frustrating. So, anyway, I got absolutely devastated by this playthrough. But you know what? That's how it is sometimes. They just kicked my butt for every fight. Because had we had won those fights, right? That was a basically. Had I won 2 of those fights. So just enough to get my stars. That's 2 stars off of theirs and 2 stars of mine up. So you're talking about a 16-point swing, right? And then it would have given me time to. I could have got another mech out. I could have produced again. If I produced, I would have gotten the rest of my workers out. So that would have been another star up there. So then they would have had 2 stars less had I won combat. And then I would have gotten 3 stars more, so it would have been a 24-point swing in my way. So you subtract 24 from them, they go down to 60. What was it? What did I say? 86. So 60, 62, and then I go up 24 points, which puts me at 94. So like that was like the combat was incredibly consequential. Like I would have won had I won those 2 of those 3 combats. Now one of them I gave away because obviously I just didn't have anything, but the other ones were just pretty unfortunate. So it is what it is. But that's going to be it for today. Let me know if you guys want to see some more Scythe. I mean, this is just base game. Obviously, this might be from the mod board, but I've got the modular board and I really want to try it out, and I haven't yet. I also have. Rise of Fenris, so like possibly we could do a Rise of Fenris campaign. That might be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to see some more Scythe, please let me know. I've also considered getting a second Otama deck and playing with two Otamas. If those are things you're interested in, please let me know if you guys want to see more Scythe. This is a game that I literally have not played in about a year and a half, so it was really fun to get this back out and play it again. It's on my personal 10x10 this year, so I'm playing it anyway, right? I'm going to be playing it for my own self. So if you guys want to see some more Scythe for the channel, please let me know. Man, this game is good. I mean, even me losing was frustrating. Honestly, it's funny. It gives me a very similar feeling to Andromeda's Edge, where you just got like, it's really Euro-y, but you got some like combat on the map. And yeah, you get a little bit of like, there's a consolation prize for losing. And sometimes the losing can be frustrating in the combat, but it kind of gives a similar feeling to that. So if you guys want to see more Scythe, comment down below. And yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.